changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more.
So whenever we look at our lives, it always comes down to one of three things: that we want to drop something, we want to add something, or we want to increase something. So as this year is ending, there are so many things I'm sure that we would like to drop, that we would like to release. But we want to think about what it is that we want to, how we want to approach 2021 as we go in. And one of the things that I want you to do is to consider these three ideas. Number one, what is it you want to drop? What is it you want to let go of entirely? I was part of a civic group that met once every 2 weeks, and I was doing my best to be very active in it. And I was participating regularly and I was contributing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what I kept getting from the people that were organizing this group was that no matter what it was that I was doing, that they wanted more from me. They wanted me to increase. Now, I thought about this for a very, very long time, and I looked down and I journaled my reasons for getting involved in this organization. And I asked myself if those goals for myself were being met, and I realized that they really were not. And so, without a lot of agony, without a lot of concern, etc., I simply dropped it. I emailed them and said that this was not really working out the way I had hoped it would, and that rather than try and augment what their expectations were, I was just going to step aside so they could find someone who could participate in the ways and at the level that they wanted. I simply dropped it. Now, I immediately felt better. It's amazing how little obligations can make us feel like we have the weight of the world on our shoulders. When these little meetings would come along on Wednesday mornings and I knew I'd have to participate via Zoom, I'd start to get this weight in my stomach. So as 2020 is going bye-bye, ask yourself what it is you want to drop. What it is you want to drop. And I'm not talking about weight. We all think about that, but I'm saying, what is it you just want to let go of completely? And it doesn't have to be a commitment. It could be a person whom you consider to be a friend, but may actually not be. For more than a decade, I used to hang out periodically with this guy and would tell people he was a good friend of mine. And I would call him periodically and say, hey, let's get together. He never called me. I would say, hey, let's go here. And he would always say yes, but he never had any money. So I always paid. So for more than 10 years, I had this friend who I paid for everything whenever we got together. We only got together when I initiated a conversation. I always remembered his birthdays and anniversaries and things like that and would reach out. He never heard from him. And then finally, I had to ask myself, is this the definition of friend I want in my life? I'm the one calling this person a friend. And so I simply chose to drop him. I didn't even say anything. Like I said, he never reached out to me. So all I did was stop reaching out to him. Then it's been years and he's probably still waiting on me. But the thing was, I dropped him a long time ago because he was not my definition of what a friend is. So ask yourself, what is it that you would like to drop? What commitment, what person, what situation? It's okay to let it go. I remember that when I was a boy, we used to go to this dentist, and my mom hated the dentist. Hated every time she went because they hurt her. They would hurt her teeth. They would hurt her gums. They would make them bleed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she would come home and she would be so angry, but she would never drop the dentist. This went on for years. Take a look at yourself and ask yourself, what do I regularly complain about? What is it that I regularly express grief, pain, or discontent? That's the definition of complaint. and then give yourself permission. I, as an authority figure, am giving you permission to drop it, let it go. Other people might think, oh, well, how could you do that? I did it because I made this choice. It was interesting. We made a commitment to go to a holiday party long before the COVID uh, hockey stick happened, when it would only seem terrible, not like it is now. And it was a very hard decision not to go to this Christmas party. Um, we really wanted to go. It was a lot of very, very good friends. And it was actually, there were several. We had like three that we had committed to. And then as the pandemic continued to worsen, we had to drop that commitment. And some people were disappointed. I know that some of my family were disappointed in one of the things that we dropped. And I had to explain to them. And sometimes people aren't going to get it when you have to drop a commitment or when you have to drop something. The thing is, you're responsible for you. Take care of yourselves. So, number one, what is it is you're leaving 2020 you want to drop? As you're going into 2021, ask yourself one thing. Uno, singular, ein. One thing that you are going to drop, that you're going to add rather, in 2021. Here's what I found about New Year's. We go into New Year's and we have dozens of New Year's resolutions, which is an intentional thing done by the ego to try and get us overwhelmed so we actually don't do anything, because it's a no-win situation. Even if we have 12 big things on our change list for the first of the year and we do 11 of them, we can still somehow find ourselves feeling a failure because we didn't do the one. That, however, is the rarity. The common thing is that we have all these things which gives us a feeling of overwhelmment, which leaves us with plausible deniability so that we don't do anything. Instead, one thing, pick one thing you're going to add to your life and then defend it like a mama bear defends her cubs. Pick one thing. The people in our complaint-free meditation group, and I know there's several of you here with us now because we've already meditated together. I see Michelle, I see Kathy, I see others who are part of that meditation group. These people made a decision to come in and sit down and meditate every day, and their egos, of course, were enraged. Your ego does not want you to meditate ever or exercise. One of the big things that I've realized in my life is that I'm never going to feel like exercising. I exercise every day, and I'm never going to feel like it. I've always got to just get on my swimsuit and go jump in the pool and start doing the laps. And somewhere around 6 or 7 minutes in, I'm okay. Or go to the gym and start doing the treadmill, or start lifting weights, or start doing yoga. But my mind will always find a way to try and block me from doing something. So what is it that you want to add in your life? What's new? I would recommend stopping complaining. Take our 21-day complaint-free challenge. If you've already taken it, get your bracelet out. I'm going to take it again myself, starting on January 31st, starting on New Year's. So whoever is with me will be reporting it in our complaint-free life program, how I'm doing and how everybody else is doing, shooting selfies as we always do. But ask yourself, what am I going to add in this year? And then defend it like a mama bear and her cubs. Because if you start adding, like I said, a bunch of things, you won't do anything. The other thing is that if you do one thing for a while, as soon as you make the decision, here's what studies have found. You get a shot of dopamine, which is the feel-good drug, the bliss drug. I'm going to meditate every day in 2021. Drug, get squirted into your body and you feel good. Now, what happens after you do a big night of drugs? Not that I would know, but the next morning, I would imagine you wake up feeling pretty lousy, and then it gets really hard. That's why New Year's resolutions are difficult. It's as much the crash after the big decision. So pick one thing, and it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but pick one thing. Russell Brunson in his books talks about making the big domino fall. What's the big domino you'd like to see fall? Just so you'll know, the number one things that will, if you begin to do these on a regular basis, they will allow you to do everything else starting. The number one thing you can do, according to The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg says, exercise on a daily basis. Half an hour or more, get your heart rate up. If you're not sweating, you're not exercising. That is number one. The second most important thing you can do is meditate, is to sit down and be still. So it's interesting that getting your body to move is one of the most important things. It's a keystone, is what it's called, to all other habits, and so is meditation. So now, who, what, where are you going to drop in 2020? You're going to leave it where you found it, all right? What are you going to add in 2021? One thing. Make that decision now and make the commitment. And notice how your emotions go up and on. Well, maybe I'll try something else. Well, maybe I'll do something. Well, I won't do it every day. That's your ego. Notice your ego come up as soon as you begin to make that decision. And then finally, when there's the group, I love the meditation when there's the group. I was trying to read what Elena said. Elena said, when is the Oh, I get it. We'll cover that more. Okay, so finally we've got add, we've got drop. You need to figure something you're going to drop, something you're going to add, and then figure something you're going to increase. Something you're going to increase. One of the things that I did the other day was I typically swim for 30 minutes. And I thought to myself, I probably wouldn't notice it that much, but I would probably get a significant benefit if I could take this up to 45 minutes. But I didn't take it up to 45 minutes. That was crazy. I went from 30 minutes to 31 minutes. And I noticed that it didn't make a big difference in my life or my day. And so I went to 32 minutes. And I'm working my way up. So what is it that you are already doing that you want to increase? I remember when I studied transcendental meditation in Fairfield, Iowa, and there are a lot of famous people who do TM. Jerry Seinfeld, Hugh Jackman, Ellen DeGeneres, a lot of people practice transcendental meditation. And Jerry Seinfeld, I saw in an interview, said that, you know what? I meditated for years once a day in the morning. He said, when I added that second meditation in the afternoon, that was his increase. He said, that's what changed my life. He said 20 minutes in the morning was good, and I thought everything was great. But he said 20 minutes additional in the afternoon, that's what made all the difference. And when I asked myself, where are you going to find 20 extra minutes? How many episodes of Schitt's Creek did you watch this week, Will? Did you watch Bloodline? Did you watch anything on Hulu or YouTube? How much time did you spend scrolling through Reddit or TikTok? There is time to put into your life whatever it is you want to increase. And my recommendation is increase it incrementally, a little bit at a time, so that you barely even notice it. And it makes it that much easier. So those are our jumpstart thoughts for the day. Number one, what are you going to drop and leave in 2020? What's the one thing you're going to add going into 2021? And what is it that you're already doing well, but you want to just bump it up a little bit, knowing that that little bit makes all the difference? The difference in meditating once a day and meditating, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. You don't get twice as relaxed. You get 10 times more relaxed. It's 1 + 1 = 11. So think of something you want to increase and begin to do so right now. Let me check in and let everybody say hello before we say goodbye. And just to let you know, today is December 22nd, I will be taking tomorrow and Thursday and Friday off to just chill, relax. And I will be with you on Christmas Eve at 7 p.m. to read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Won't take long, but I'll have you right in front of our Christmas tree, and I'm going to read to you 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll make sure that your kids and your grandkids are with me. So any parting comments, please make them now. And let's see who is here. There's Natasha Harris. She says, good morning. Kathy Cruz says, hello. Terrific Tuesday, says Dominic and Juanita Cortulo. Good to see them here. Karen is here. Karen Chapman, always nice to see you. Michelle Doherty, glad to have you here with us as always. Michelle is literally here every day. James Emmanuel, good to see you. If you're here for the first time, would you please let us know? James, I don't think I recognize seeing you before. And before I say anything else, please click share. If you found any benefit in what you saw today, this concept of add, drop, and repeat, release, please, or increase rather, please click share. That's what's going to allow other people to make this connection and very likely join us in our group. Natasha says, this is so good. Elena says, I love the meditation. When's the group? Elena's asked more meditation questions. We meditate every morning at 7:30 a.m. I'm typing in a link. I'll make sure that's right. Hopefully it is. Everybody let me know if it's not. www.complaintfreemeditation.com. www.complaintfreemeditation. It is a membership program. We excuse me. We have dropped the price from $50 to $20 a month to $25 a month. That is meditating live every single day. You get a book on meditation. You also get to be within our group. You get to watch the library of meditations, and we've got over 100, and we're adding new each week. So check it out. That's a heck of a Christmas gift for yourself. www.complaintfreemeditation.com. If you join now, your membership is locked in at that $25 rate. So when we raise the rates again, you'll still be locked in at $25 a month. Give it a try. People in it just absolutely love it. If you're in the Complaint Free Meditation group, let everybody know how you feel about it, if you would. Let's see. Nancy is here for the first time. Thanks for the post. Merry Christmas. Nancy, good to see you. Glad you are here very much. Love all your dogs. That is awesome. That's why I like Reddit. I've got my Reddit all programmed to not only give me a little bit of news, but a lot of puppies. Elena says, thank you. Well, thank you all, and thanks for being here. Now, reminder, I will not be with you here on I will not be here with you live to do a jumpstart until Monday, the 28th. And between then, though, join me for just about 15 minutes on Christmas Eve, would you? Mark it in your calendar right now. Tell Alexa to remind you. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll get together for a little Christmas wish, just about 10 or 15 minutes, and I will read you 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. You're all such a wonderful blessing in my life. Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor of being a part of your life. Now go out and carry all that goodness and share it into the world. Doesn't do any good if you don't share it with other people. Love you all. Bye.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more.